Hello and welcome to English with Jimmy. And today's subject is the present perfect continuous tense. Present perfect continuous. Okay? As I told you before, guys, remember the keys for forming any tense sentence. Present tell us which part of the verbs we're using, like verb to be we're gonna use is or for the present is or are or for the past was and were. Okay, so that's the present. Perfect means we use verb to have. So if we are using verb to have in the present, it's have or has. If it's past perfect continuous, it will be had. Okay. And continuous means verb to be plus verb plus ing. Don't forget that. So that's how we know it. Is a structure of the verb is very important. I keep emphasizing that and talking about it. Remember those keys. Future means will and shall. Okay. Perfect means verb to have. Okay. Continuous means verb to be plus verb plus ing. Always remember this. And then remember, regular verbs, we add ed, and irregular verbs, unfortunately, you will have to remember it. So memorize the irregular verbs. Eat, ate, eaten, drink, drank, drunk, okay, and so on, and so on, and so on. All the verbs that are irregular must be memorized, and you must remember them, okay? Now, the present perfect continuous, okay? We call it sometimes progressive, okay, is a verb tense which is used to show that an action started in the past and has continued up to the present moment, okay, to the present moment. Present perfect continuous, something started in the past and continued to the present moment. The present perfect continuous usually emphasizes duration, a certain amount of time, or the amount of the amount of time that an action has been taken has been taken. Okay, that's very important. The duration, how long it took. And then the present perfect continuous is used to talk about event which started in the past and may still be continuing now. Okay, this tense usually has a link to the present time. Absolutely. Okay. The format for the present perfect continuous, okay, is subject plus have because it's perfect, okay, and then continuous we have verb to be, and it comes under the PP of the perfect. So verb to be under the PP of the perfect, have plus PP. So verb to be here is being, and then continuous verb plus ing. Got it? So he has been waiting for 15 minutes. Has because it's present. If it's past, it will be had. Okay? So has been waiting. Again, with the present, we know which tense we're going to use for the verb to be or for verb to have. Present, have, and has for perfect, and is and are for verb to be. Okay. Past is was and were, and okay, for verb to be, and for the perfect we have, instead of have we'll have have and has. No, we have had. We use had because it's past. But now we're talking about present perfect continuous, and that is the format for it. Take a look at it and remember it. Action started in the past and then continuing until till now, till the present. Okay, he has been waiting for 15 minutes. If we are talking about the present perfect continuous formats as a positive and negative and question, here we are. Subject, have and has, okay, depending on, and been plus verb plus ing. You have been waiting here for 2 hours. Subject, you. Have, because it's perfect, okay, and been and waiting verb plus ing. Don't forget again. Okay, present perfect continuous. For negative, subject plus have and has plus not plus been plus verb plus ing. Example, you haven't been waiting here for 2 hours. Have not. You added not for the negative. If it's a question, you use have in the beginning, okay, and then the subject, and then been waiting here for 2 hours. Have you been waiting here for 2 hours? It became a question because you moved have to the beginning. Got it, guys? Okay. Positive, negative, and question. Okay. Now, how to use the present perfect continuous in what conditions? Okay, it can be used to describe events that are finished, something are finished, and are still in evidence now. Something shows some evidence about it. Okay, the road is wet. It must have been raining. Because the road is wet, it must have been raining. Have been raining. The structure for the present perfect continuous. How do I know it? Have and been, present perfect, continuous, raining. You got that? That's a formula for the verb. And the road is wet, it's a proof of it. Have you been crying? It's a question here. Have you been crying? Have, and then the subject, and then been, and then crying, okay? Because I can see tears on your cheeks. Because I can see water on the road. It must have been raining. I can see tears on your cheek. Have you been crying? I'm asking you. You got that? Good. That's an evidence. Another usage of the present perfect continuous to describe an event that started in the past and is still continuing now. It is often used with for and since. So for and since, we use the present perfect continuous. I have been working here for 6 months. So he's still working in the place, and I have been working here for 6 months. For, we said we use for with it, okay, here. Okay, got it, guys? Yes. Okay, for. And here we have for. There. All right, again, she has been learning English since she went to university. Since. Okay, so we use for and since, okay, with the present perfect continuous, okay, to because it's an action that started in the past and continued until now. When we find for or since in the sentence, gives us a guide that what kind of the tense is going to be. It's going to be present perfect continuous, okay? Present perfect continuous. Don't forget, present perfect continuous. Present perfect continuous, okay? Again, it can be used to talk about a repeating action, okay? Something's being repeated. Examples: I have been watching the news every evening. Every evening is a repeat, okay? Her brother has been calling her a lot recently, okay? A lot and every, okay? Here they give us an indication of that there's something's being repeated, okay? Repeated. Good. Is that clear, guys? Okay, something's been repeated. So we also use the present perfect continuous. Again, we use the present perfect continuous to show that something started in the past and has continued up until now, for 5 minutes, for 2 weeks, and since Tuesday, for. You see the word for and since, okay? Are all duration. Give me duration, okay? Duration. Remember that, guys, please, okay? Duration, right? Okay, which can be used with the present perfect continuous, okay? Examples, here we got some examples. How many examples we got? Oh, God, we got a lot. Okay, they have been talking for the last hour. He has been working at the company for 5 years. 4. You can see 4 and 4 being repeated. That's a question. What have you been doing for the last 45 minutes? 4 again. Edward has been teaching at the university since June. So here we got 4, 4, and 4, and here we got since, okay? We have been waiting here for over 2 hours, okay? Why has Harry not been taking his medicine for the last couple of days? All 4 and since, okay? Since and 4. There we go. We underlined all the 4s, underlined, okay, and since. So remember, okay, right? That is using the present perfect continuous for an event started and continued until now. Another word that helps us to use the present perfect continuous is recently and lately, okay? You can also use present perfect continuous without duration, such as for 2 weeks, okay? Without the duration, the tense has a more general meaning, like lately, okay? So we often use the words lately and recently to emphasize this meaning. Here we got some examples. How many? We got about 6 examples here again. Recently, okay, he has been feeling really tired recently, okay? He has been watching too much television lately, okay? A question, have you been exercising lately, okay? Sylvia has been feeling a little depressed. Okay, another one, depressed. Martha has not been practicing her Japanese or her French or Chinese or whatever. What have you been doing? Okay, what have you been doing? But we need to add something here, like recently. Again, we underlined the recently and lately in all the sentences here, okay? So recently, lately, recently, lately, recently. We added them to the present perfect continuous, okay? So they like we can use them so we don't need a duration like we had before, okay? The duration last hour, 5 years, 45 minutes, okay, since June, over 2 hours, okay, for the last couple of days. These are all duration expressions, guys. Duration and time expressions. While here we have lately and recently, which takes place of the duration, and also we still use with a present perfect continuous. One more time, present perfect continuous. When I say present, it tells us what tense we're going to use the verb to be and verb to have. Okay, it's not past perfect continuous, it's present. So we're going to use have or has, or we're going to for the perfect, and we're going to use is and are for verb to be. Okay, present perfect continuous. The format, subject, perfect, have, and has. We need the PP, past participle, which an action started and finished in the past completely as we described it before. So the PP of verb to be, which is part of the continuous, because continuous means verb to be plus verb plus ing. So they overlap. The PP comes on the verb to be and turned it into being, okay? And then the verb plus ing. You can add something else like an object to the subject. So he has been waiting for 15 minutes at the station. Okay? You can add this as well if you want. But the basic structure here we got is he has been waiting. Okay? In order to justify using the present perfect continuous, has been waiting, we add a duration. So we say 15 minutes, for 15 minutes. We used for, or since 2 o'clock, because it started waiting in the past, okay, and then until now. And this is how we describe the present perfect continuous. Action started in the past and continued until now. it takes a duration. We mentioned duration, since and for, or we can use lately and recently. Is that clear, guys? There's plenty of examples here. It's all here on the video. Just go through it again slowly, gradually, and you will find it all there, okay? That's it, how to use it. And with recently and lately, that's the last bit we did. And that is it, girls and guys. I thank you.